If you ever find yourself in the San Jose, California area, or can get yourself to the San Jose, California area, I highly recommend looking up the Winchester Mystery House. The bizarre thing about this house is you're going to hear multiple reasons as to why this may have occurred, but really it is a mansion pretty much in the middle of the city, surrounded by chaos. But once you are inside its gates, it is a beautiful construction of craziness. So Sarah Winchester ended up becoming part of the Winchester guns fortune. She was married to somebody, her husband, who family name, he was a part of that company, and when he passed, all the money went to her. And so she ended up moving here. Allegedly, a psychic told her that she was being haunted by spirits of the dead who had been killed through Winchester guns. And so she ended up moving here and starting to build a place. So some of the theories are that she started building this crazy house with something like 40 bedrooms, 40 staircases, 13 bathrooms. She also had a thing for the number 13. As you go through, you'll see certain things get pointed out. There might be 13 panels of glass in a window, things like that. But this house, I believe, and again, there's theories that you will hear as you go through. I believe, honestly, she was very lonely. And to keep constructing on this house, stairways to nowhere, which you'll see here in a little bit, doorways to nowhere, tiny stairs where you might have 5 stairs that'll do the work of like 2 normal size stairs. I believe a lot of that was just because she was lonely. She lost her child when her child was very little. She then lost her husband. She didn't really have any other family. At some point, her niece moves in with her. But if she kept this constant construction going, she was surrounded by people constantly and noise constantly. Now, the actual theory that you will hear when you are visiting the house as you go through is that what she was trying to do, and again, it's allegedly, nobody knows for sure, and they will say the word allegedly, but what you will hear is that actually what they believe she was doing was trying to build to keep away from the spirits and to keep them away from her. She was building mazes, so that if they went one way, they would get stuck, that they couldn't get up to the next the next floor of the house because they would hit a staircase to nowhere, that if they went out a doorway, they would actually fall. There's many doorways or windows and things that would literally just lead to nowhere. There's the door to nowhere right there, and you'll see that from the inside later on as well. So Sarah was continuously building this. It went up to 7 stories at one point, but during a very tragic earthquake, it was deemed that the top 3 floors were potentially deadly to people in general, not only her and her servants, but other people in the community as well. So they actually knocked it back down to 4
in this
flights,
beautiful
4
house,
stories. There are something like 200 rooms. Some of them you cannot go into, understandably. The people trying to preserve this house and do these tours want to make sure that everything stays in good working order and that everything is taken care of. So you can't see the whole thing. However, you do go right up to the 4th story, which we'll get to towards the end of this video. But you get to take a really good look into Sarah Winchester's life, and specifically how she lived while she was in this house. A few pictures ago, you were able to see just how tall she was, standing at 4'10". She was clearly not the tallest person that you've met, and so a lot of the stairs were actually reconditioned, rebuilt to fit her a lot better. She also had arthritis, and so taking the smaller steps in her journey was a lot easier on her joints. But you will also notice with the steps that 3 of them, give or take, does the same job as 1. And so depending on how you want to theorize what happened here, whether it was the spirits guiding her or her trying to keep the spirits away or simply just being lonely and wanting to keep the construction going. Original stairs were ripped out, new stairs put in. Now, not throughout the whole house. She did have servants to assist her, so she didn't make all of the stairs super small, but there are many stairwells. And as we go through the house, you're going to see some really intricate work that was done here. You can see the wallpaper in the ceilings. This is actually Sarah's room that we're peeking into here, just to see how she lived while she lived in the Winchester home. Now, you can absolutely do ghost tours while you're here, but don't be too spooked. That's my husband in the mirror, not a newfangled ghost that now shows up with a cell phone to take a photo. So as we went through the home, they gave us some amazing facts about certain rooms, like the seance room here. Once you're actually in it, you can't get back out the same way. Where we just looked there, if you actually just walked out, you would fall. There was a doorway that literally just took you down a few flights. A few slides ago, you saw the doorway to nowhere as well as the staircase to nowhere. And so all of these little hidden gems make this home truly mysterious and magical. As I mentioned, you can take spooky, creepy tours. They host those more in October, obviously, but they do host them all year round. So you can definitely take a look if you are more interested in the spiritual side of this home, and what is believed to be kind of the guiding force and everything here. Definitely take a look on their website for that. However, that's not exactly what I was looking for, so I called ahead just to make sure that I could book what I wanted. Taking a break for just a second on that, we're going to come up to the 7-Eleven staircase. The reason this is called the 7-Eleven staircase is because to go down one side there's 7 stairs and the other side is 11, and instead of just being able to go across like a normal hallway, it was intentionally built to have staircases to go back and forth. So it's little dips around the house that you'll notice. Things didn't necessarily need to be the way they were, but that's how Sarah wanted them built. So anyway, there is definitely the spooky tour that you can take. There's the other view of the 7-Eleven staircase. There's definitely the spooky tour that you can take, but there's also this family-friendly, everyone welcome tour. I will say, because of the stairs, more than likely there is a no stroller rule, but please speak with staff about that. I can't speak with that specific, but as I said, you do go up to the 4th floor. There are stairs, so just kind of keep that in mind. But there was nothing spooky about my tour. It was not hard pressed to keep up with anything. There's the doorway to nowhere right outside. Boop, fall. It was unbelievable and so beautiful. I'm very happy that somebody recommended this to us and that we were able to take the opportunity to get here. And I hope that if you happen to be in the San Jose, California area, you're able to do the same thing, because I cannot imagine not walking through this place, and we definitely plan to do it again. So I spoke about the stairs before and how originals were pulled out and Sarah had smaller ones put in to assist with her arthritis. And you're actually about to see some stairs that were changed over from original. You can see it along the side there to what was then built in to be the smaller ones. So as you can tell, we are up on the 4th floor, but because Sarah still needed to have construction done for whatever reason is deemed to be the reason, you'll notice this room that we're in, although it's enclosed, you can see the back there, right there. It's actually an old chimney stack. So she enclosed what used to be outside. There's siding as part of one of the walls, and it is fully enclosed now. And so what actually happened was she closed off the 2 fireplaces, or the 3 fireplaces that were connected to using that chimney, because obviously now it's inside, she can't use that anymore. But construction had to continue, so turning the outside inside became something that was done. And we are coming up on, oh, come on. There are these countertops that I want so bad. There we go. So right there, you can see the divots in the countertop. And there we go. Because so that all the water drains back into the sink. How genius is that? I cannot be the only one constantly wiping up water from my countertop from either doing the dishes or cutting vegetables or anything. We need to bring that back. That part I completely agree with. So here's the dining rooms. These were just not redesigned, but fixed up recently. There we go. That'll fully explain it. Renovated, there's the word. They were recently renovated with all the money that comes in from admittance fees. They were able to use some of that to renovate the 2 dining rooms, and they're absolutely beautiful. This ballroom is incredible. That's my favorite picture, not gonna lie. It took me a few tries on that one, but the ballroom is beautiful. The house is to die for. Unfortunately, that's probably what happened. But again, if you get a chance, I can't even describe all of the amazing things that you're going to see, like the largest and smallest cupboard. One is pretty useless and the other one is half a room. I'm not quite sure what the theory was to going into that, but they exist. So let me know if you've been here before, or when you do go, let me know what you thought of it and if you had a favorite room. We walked around the grounds before. You can have all the time you want to walk around the grounds. They have food on site. You can grab some lunch, stay for a few hours if you wanted. But make sure you definitely check out the grounds, whether it is before and after or one or the other. We kind of did both. But the grounds are absolutely beautiful. They have floral arrangements everywhere. Great fruit trees I showed you at the beginning of this video. And you're not going to want to miss just the natural beauty that is in the middle of this city. You just feel like you've been transformed somewhere else. So enjoy, everyone, and I hope this has inspired you to visit the Winchester Mystery House.